Greetings all! Today, we will be examining the relatively rare water rock type Pokemon Corsola, the Coral Pokemon. Though they might not come off as the most threatening of beasts, Corsola are fascinating creatures that can definitely show how symbiotic relationships can truly make life easier for two creatures that are otherwise incapable of surviving without the other. Corsola possess two main parts to their body, their main body being rounded in form with a thick, rock-like outer skin that is mostly pink, save for their lower bodies where it breaks apart into a white belly. They move around on four stubby protrusions on their lower form, with a pair jutting out from the front of their form and a single one on their forehead, right above their mouth and black eyes. The upper part of their form contains a series of four three-pronged coral branches, which serve as both their lifeline and their symbiotic partner in life. Corsola are different from most other aquatic Pokemon in that they live in a permanent symbiotic relationship with a unique species of coral that only grows on them. On the one hand, Corsola do not actually have a complete digestive tract and are unable to normally feed with their mouths, minus some types of man-made food. Instead, they rely on the coral filter feeding on food to help keep their form healthy, sharing whatever they manage to pluck out of the water to keep these creatures alive. As a result, the coral has had to develop into a powerful feeding machine that focuses more on gathering food than its own safety and reproduction, leaving that to the Corsola they are attached to, as the coral can be cloned during the breeding process to help keep the species alive. On the other hand, in exchange for this, Corsola use their limited powers to defend the coral from attack and keep it safe, ensuring that their meal ticket is not made a ready target by others. While their offenses are limited, Corsola are able to do this job effectively enough in most cases, so the relationship is fairly solid. However, this is not to say that these creatures are completely safe, as they do have some natural predators, especially the members of the Marini family, which are able to pierce the hard bodies of these creatures and feast on the coral, which is a severe problem, as these creatures will die without the coral to feed them. To counter this, these beasts will often snap off pieces of coral in order to leave a trail that will hopefully distract a pursuing predator and give Corsola the chance to hide until they are safe again. This is usually not a problem for them, as they are able to regrow broken branches within 3 days, limiting the time they spend looking stubby and damaged, and partially influencing their gender ratio of 4:1 in favor of females, and their sturdy form makes it hard for others to easily feed on them. Interestingly, the bodies of these creatures are so sturdy that, in the warm southern oceans they occupy, there are some communities that are built on massive colonies of these creatures, and since they don't necessarily have to move much to get the sustenance they need to survive, this works out well for them, and renders the otherwise rare creatures easy to find in the right places, and further provides a place for smaller Pokemon to hide from potential predators. Their willingness to protect their coral and others with great gusto, as well as their impressive regenerative powers, is what allows these creatures to possess the hustle and natural cure abilities as base abilities, while those that are exceptionally gifted at restoring the body to full power readily can have Regenerator as a hidden ability. As far as their stats are concerned, because of the limited nature of their biology and powers, these creatures do not have much in the way of useful power to show, with most of their stats being below average for a fully evolved water and rock type Pokemon. The only exceptions are their defensive stats, as they have an above-average base defense stat for a fully evolved water-type Pokemon, and an above-average base special defense stat for a fully evolved water and rock-type Pokemon. So at the very least, they can take a decent hit in a fight, even if their limited stamina can render this moot in some cases. It is further noted that these creatures, aside from only being able to survive in warm southern waters, migrating from colder waters as soon as the temperature dips too low for them, they are also only able to survive readily in clean waters free of pollution. Just as their body color becomes more vibrant the more nutritious the water around them is, making those in the Alola region exceptionally beautiful, their body color will change if they are exposed to polluted water, the coral stalks on their bodies becoming discolored and crumbling away eventually, resulting in their eventual death. This is a sad fate for these creatures, and it is becoming an increasingly large problem in many parts of the world. But there are still some safe havens where these beasts can thrive readily. It should be further noted that, as the branches on their bodies grow older, they will eventually be unable to perform their duties effectively anymore, and will be shed and discarded to make way for the growth of a new, fresh branch. These discarded objects, known as Corsola twigs, are highly valued because the outer shell of calcium carbonate shines in a rainbow of 7 colors when exposed to sunlight, making them a popular collectible that is often used in jewelry or otherwise given as keepsakes. This, combined with the communities sometimes built on top of these creatures, helps to keep these creatures safe from attack, and in turn makes human care and contact with them more positive than when not committed correctly. Calm-natured and cute with just the right kind of coloration to make people go crazy over them, Corsola are simple creatures that can definitely help you give something to a special someone that they won't forget. They might be poorly suited for battle, but considering the defenses, this is usually not a problem for them and only serves to make them a creature worth protecting over simply battling with. Just do yourself a favor and try not to aggravate them too much if you're looking for one. They might be more of a pretty face than an actual threat to some, but that doesn't mean that they won't get in your face, and make sure you leave them well enough alone, even if that comes in the form of an ancient power or rock blast attack directed at you with gusto. Thank you all for watching this video. It is always an honor to be able to speak with you all on the subject of Pokemon in a way that brings me great joy and happiness in my work. If you would like to keep tabs on past and future work, click that subscribe button, check out my work on DeviantArt, and don't be shy about following me on Twitter, where you can find pertinent announcements on upcoming work before it is officially posted. Links to both can be found in the video description. If you would like to support my work and help Miguel and I continue to produce more content for you and improve upon our presentation, please visit us at my Patreon page, which you can also find a link to in the video description.
Yep, no.
With that, I thank you for watching and I wish you well.